If you're struggling to balance work, school, fitness, your goals, your family, this video is for you because I will teach you today how to become disciplined and how to actually make time for the things that matter the most to you. We're officially entered the new year, the year of 2026, and I'm really happy you're still with me, so welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Alina, and I help women like you reinvent yourself and create the life of your dreams. I'll be completely honest, I was never a disciplined person. I was always the type B friend. Everybody knew that I would always be late. I was not organized, but I became an organized person. And whenever people meet me now, they're like, wow, you're so structured, you're so organized, and you get shit done. And as somebody who has a lot of interests, a lot of things going on, I'll tell you that this is possible. How do you go from somebody who's super disorganized, very chaotic, to becoming really organized, to becoming very disciplined and stick to their routines? So if I was able to do it, I'm sure you will be able to do the same thing. Some people are naturally more structured and organized, and other people are more spirited and wild, just like me in the past. And whatever you are, or maybe you are something in between, let me tell you that it's something that you learn, and it's the systems that you create that help you actually become disciplined and make time for really important things that you have in your life. Because nobody wants to lose out on the important things just because we're not organized enough. If your goals are important to you, in 2026, you will become a highly disciplined woman, and today I'm going to share how. If you've ever said to yourself, oh, I just don't have enough time, that's why I never make time for the things that matter to me, I'm gonna ask you to pause and think about it. Because most of the time, it's not about the time itself, it's just more about your priorities and where your energy goes. Most of the time, you disperse your energy in so many million directions that at the end of the day, you just don't have the time or energy to put it into the right things. That's because you want to respond to every single call, you want to go to every single event, you want to help every single person before helping yourself, before putting the time into the right things. What changed for me is understanding that discipline is not really a personality trait. It's a skill that you learn. It's a system that you build. Being disciplined is not something you're born with, it's something that you master. And the sooner you start mastering it, the better you'll become at it. I'm gonna share 7 most powerful habits that highly disciplined women have in common. Habit number 1, disciplined women decide once, not every single day. Disciplined women, they don't negotiate that themselves. Oh, should I go to the gym? Should I eat healthy today? They already decided they're doing that once. They decided that that's how they're gonna design their life. They decided they're going to the gym 3 times a week. They're not negotiating, oh, maybe I go once. They already have the system, they decided. So they predetermined that they have it in their schedules, that they have it in their routines. They don't rely on motivation and inspiration. They act from the system that they created, that they decided on. This decision fatigue of trying to figure out, should I go there today or should I maybe pass, is something that drains your energy. And the sooner you make a decision and you stick to it, you'll realize that you will become just so much more disciplined because you had to decide only once. You don't need to make 100 million different small decisions. You just have to make one decision and stick to it. Habit number 2, they treat their goals like it's their job. It's like a literal job. This is something that changed a lot inside of me because I used to think, oh, once I work, once I do all of these errands and other things, once I spend time with family, maybe if I have the time and energy, I'll spend an hour working on a project or working on my goal of some sort. And I was so wrong because most of the time you just don't have that energy at the end of the day unless you actually allocate the time for it. If you don't have it in your calendar, it's not happening. It might happen, but how often is it gonna happen? It's not going to happen consistently if you don't have it blocked off in your calendar. Disciplined women, they block off the time for a focus time, for the time where they can focus on their goals, just like they would book a work shift for themselves or maybe a class that you would go to at a university. You know that that time is allocated in your calendar, even if it's 30 minutes or an hour, it's allocated for accomplishing your goals, for working on your goals, for reading articles on it, for watching YouTube videos, for making it happen in some way, making small steps towards your goals. You know the saying, go big or go home? So here it's actually the opposite, because smaller actions that are actually consistently repeated every single day are way better than just one chunk of time that is chaotic and it's once a month. So imagine if you worked on your goal for 30 minutes every single day for 30 days. Do you think the result of that would be better than you working for 5 hours once a month, but you're completely chaotic, you don't know what you're doing, you're just all over the place, you're distracted, you're scrolling your phone? So tell me, what's going to yield the best results? I can assure you that it's going to be the small, consistent steps that you make every single day. And even 30 minutes a day is better than chaotic 5 hours. Habit number 3, disciplined women, they understand energy before time. We cannot constantly push and expect from ourselves 100% every single day. A disciplined and a smart woman, she understands that she has to plan it around her cycles. Disciplined women, they put demanding tasks around high energy windows. They know they're full of energy and they can actually squeeze the most out of themselves and really hone in on the tasks and do as much as they can. In administration and routine tasks, she'll probably put them into the low energy windows where she doesn't feel as full of energy. She just wants to stay in bed and just get some stuff done just to keep it going. A highly disciplined woman, she knows that discipline is not about working as a machine. It's about actually honoring your cycles and working with them, not against them. It's very important to learn about how you like to spend your days and which days you have more energy, which days you can allocate more tasks, and other days maybe you need to pull back and restore your energy. Restoring your energy is just as important as completing these high performance tasks, because if we don't restore our energy, we wouldn't have any energy to actually spend. Habit number 4, disciplined women, they build systems. They're not relying just simply on willpower or motivation. Systems is what keeps you organized. Without a system or a container to hold it all together, it will be really tough to stick to the obligations and to the commitments that you created for yourself. I'll give you an example. If you decided that you're going to the gym 3 times a week, as a lot of us decided on January 1st, you would want to prepare your clothes the night before. You also want to make sure that you do not spend extra time scrolling on your phone because you want to get to the gym at 7 a.m. If you're not getting to the gym at 7 a.m., you're missing your work. You're being late to other appointments. So when you have this system in place, preparing clothes the night before and not using your phone before you work out so you can actually make it on time, this kind of system will actually hold it all together. The more simple you make it for yourself, the easier it will be actually to stick to it and come through and stay disciplined throughout the seasons instead of just relying on your motivation. Because at some point of time, I'll tell you that I don't feel like working out, I don't feel like eating clean, I don't feel like recording content. But because I already have the systems in place, it makes it so easy for me to actually start doing it that once I'm already doing it, I'm like, wow, it's actually not that bad. But to get yourself to the point where you actually are there at the gym, when you actually are recording something, when you actually are doing something, you need to create the system that makes it easier for yourself to actually go to that place, to actually start that task, to actually start working on your goals. So once you get yourself there, well, then after that, it's easy to stay consistent because you already are doing it. Really focus on building systems for yourself instead of just relying on bursts of inspiration. I'll give you an example. There is a writer that might be struggling with writing a book. And because a lot of creatives are focused on sudden bursts of inspiration, they think that suddenly they'll be motivated, but this motivation only lasts maybe a day, maybe a couple of days. And then to actually finish the book, it takes quite some time. You have to go through all these iterations and change it, and then you go to the editor. And actually to get to the point where you can send it to the editor, you have to spend so many hours and days and weeks and maybe years or maybe decades. And I know that there has been books that took decades to complete. So to get to that point, you need to have systems. You cannot just rely on inspiration. A lot of creative people, they struggle with staying consistent because they think that if I have a system in place that means that I will be pushing myself and I will not be able to produce some inspired content or some results that inspire other people. But that's just simply not true, because once you're in the state of flow, which is what you get once you're already doing it, but you have to get yourself to the point where you actually start doing something, when you start actually writing, when you are actually in the gym on a treadmill, and then you can start being in the flow, and that's when you actually start to enjoy it, and then that's when you start getting inspired and motivated. This is why building systems is very important. This is the only way you can actually track your goals and make sure that you are moving towards your direction that you decided for yourself. Habit number 5, disciplined women, they always finish what they start. If they committed to a task, they have to finish it, because not finishing tasks or having these open tabs is a huge energy leakage. They know that they have to either complete it or cancel it or reschedule, close it in some way so that this doesn't leak their energy, it doesn't suck energy out of them. If you have unfinished projects, if you have half-read books or something that you started, or a course that you bought but you only did 10% of it, or a habit that you just abandoned, what it does is that it quietly destroys your self-trust. When you promise yourself that you will read more, and instead of actually reading more, you've been abandoning books and you've been reading only 20 pages and then leaving it alone. The difficult part about this is that your subconscious mind starts to believe that you actually don't trust yourself. It stops believing you because you tell one thing and you do something else. You have to send a powerful message to your nervous system and subconscious mind that you can rely on yourself. The only way to do it is to actually finish what you started. This is something I struggled with the most personally, is actually finishing what I started, is not abandoning my tasks, is not abandoning my projects and habits. But the moment I started fulfilling my own promises and actually coming through and finishing these things till the end, even though it's so painful sometimes and you don't feel like it, I actually started to trust myself more, and I became more confident because I trust in my ability. I trust that what I promised to myself will come true, because whatever I said I would do, I did. Confidence always comes from evidence. So the more evidence you can gather, the more you fulfill your own promises, the more confident you become, and the more disciplined you become too. Habit number 6, disciplined women, they don't wait until they feel like it, until they have this sudden mysterious inspiration out of thin air. Motivation is deeply emotional. It's something that maybe you saw on Instagram. Somebody flew somewhere that you really wanted to go, or maybe somebody's working out and you are like all inspired all of a sudden because you saw how good they look. But motivation is emotional and discipline is very rational, and this is the biggest difference. Disciplined women, they understand that emotion comes after action, not before it. Disciplined women, they always move first and then motivation follows them after. Because discipline to them is never about emotions. It's about the relationship that you have with yourself and your goals and your routines and your habits. The worst question you can ask yourself is, am I in the mood today? Because most likely you will not be in the mood. You will not be in the mood to work out. You will not be in the mood to work on your goals. You will not be in the mood to read that article. You will not be in the mood to read that book. You will never be in the mood. If you keep waiting for the right mood, your vision board will stay the vision board. It will not become your reality. I hope this is a little bit of a wake-up call for you, because I was like some of you, sitting there and looking at my vision board and looking at my goals, and I wondered, why is it not happening for me? But I realized that I was relying so much on my mood that I never felt like accomplishing my goals. I never felt like working on them, like actually putting in the work and being disciplined about it. And then I wondered, why don't I have the results that other people have? Why do they have the life of my dreams? Why don't I have what I want? But I wasn't willing to actually commit to my habits, to those routines. And that is why relying on your mood is just the worst thing you can do. Even if that means only doing 20% of what you intended to do. 20% is still better than 0. Remember that. So consistent and small action always wins. And lastly, habit number 7, disciplined women, they fiercely protect their mornings and evenings. This is such a sacred time where you can actually focus on you without any distractions. And it is crucial to protect your energy and time during those moments. This is the time when you can connect to yourself, when you can actually align yourself with your day, set the mood, set the tone for the day. This is when you can actually focus on what matters the most. One thing thing I struggle personally is waking up and constantly checking my phone, and also going to bed and checking my phone again. And this cheap dopamine was causing me to lose focus. And as a result, I was just really chaotic and I didn't know what was happening. And I felt like the day was just escaping me and I never had the time for the things that matter the most to me. Protecting my morning and evening routines has been truly a life-changing experience for me. Even if it's 10 or 15 or 20 minutes of silence, of reflection, of just deep focus time on me and what I want from this day, it goes a long way. When you look at routines of highly successful and disciplined people, you'll see that they really protect their morning and evening routine. And it's something that I've seen over and over again. And I always wondered, why is that important? Why does it matter? But what I found is that 20 minutes of focused time will actually eliminate so much noise from your day. If you sit down in the morning and prioritize what is important for the day, it will save you so much energy, so much time, and just cut out all the noise that is just irrelevant for your day. And this is when you build your consistency. This is where you build your discipline, in those quiet moments that you have with yourself. That conversation that you have in the morning, in the evening, with yourself in those quiet moments, it matters the most, because that's the relationship that you have with yourself. And lastly, I wanted to say that motivation, it always fades away. But if your discipline is rooted in your identity, if you identify yourself as a highly disciplined woman, those systems, they will never leave you. They will always be with you. Even if you missed one time, you will come back stronger, because you know it's deeply rooted in your identity. That's who you are. That's a part of you. It's not something that fades away. It's already within you, because it's something that you are mastering every single day. I hope that 2026 becomes the year when you finally commit to your goals and become disciplined and build the routines and systems that serve you the most. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you again very soon.